Jackson Radio Show.
Welcome back, everybody. Kevin Jackson here. We talked earlier in the broadcast about enigmas. And these are the things that don't make sense when you're using common sense. And you guys have heard me say this before. I'll say it 1,000 times. I don't get what it is that makes leftists have such a lack of common sense. I don't understand it. Where did it go wrong? To not have the common sense that the average 8-year-old conservative possesses, you got to ask yourself, how does that happen? How is it even possible? I've seen grown people on the left say things and do things that I scratch my head and go, you couldn't possibly believe that, or I witnessed you do that. I can't believe you did that. It's like watching a 3-year-old. All right, so I'll give you an example. Here's one of these enigmas. Only in America are legal citizens labeled racist, xenophobes, even Nazis, but illegals are called dreamers. I want you to think about that. The left intentionally they demonize you for, again, playing by the rules. You say, you know what? I'm going to go by the book here, pay my taxes, blah, blah, blah. And they say this, we're going to let people in. You go, hold on a second. We have a legal system. Oh, you're one of those. You're a Nazi. You're a xenophobe. You're a racist. You don't like such and such. And then you go, but these people are taking they're dreamers. They just want what you have. Yeah. And so here's the difference. If you took Americans and you placed us in Mexico, and you took Mexicans and you placed them in America, in a decade, Mexico would be where everybody wants to come. It wouldn't take a decade. We would change the culture of Mexico. It would be, we would be the vacation spot. We'd have industry there. It would be crazy how well we run. By the way, take America, stick it over into Africa. Tell me what you'd have. Move all the Africans to America, move all the Americans into Africa. You know what you'll have? People that say, man, that America's a dangerous place. You don't want to go to the United States. There ain't nothing united about them. But you go to Africa, and we would have monuments to success. There'd be factories on top of factories. For all intents and purposes, there's roughly 50 countries in Africa. There's roughly 50 states and some protectorates here in America. It would be a good swap. And I promise you, we would take the gold, the diamonds, the plutonium, the uranium, the rubber, you name it, and Africa would be the strongest country in the world within a decade. And America would be an armpit. It's just the way it works. It's a mentality. The American spirit, we just take it. I can't even tell you how easy it would be to do. Can you imagine America having access to all of the natural resources of Africa? I'm talking about the tourism that would be possible. You think you want to go to San Francisco. You think you want to go to Florida. You wait till we finish with Ghana. You wait till we finish with the Ivory Coast, Senegal, on the west coast of Africa, northwest. You wait till we're done with the tourism that would come from all the national parks. And the things a zoo, we forget the zoo. It would be practically Jurassic Park the way we would have people coming to Africa. The island of Madagascar, you couldn't even afford to go when we're done. It would be the island of the rich and famous. That's all you have to be the richest people in the world to get to Madagascar. And I could go on. You kidding me? Here's the next one. Enigma. Liberals say, if confiscating all guns saves just one life, it's worth it. Well, then, if deporting all illegals saves just one life, wouldn't it be worth it? Great point. See, we always do that. We always go back to if it just saves one life. And leftists never use that question on themselves. Never. If it just saves one life. We just had a massive train wreck. Another one on Amtrak. You think this one was coming from Miami or something? In December, we had the maiden voyage of a DC rail was part of a wreck. The maiden voyage, and the dude was driving 50 mile an hour over the recommended speed limit. And you got to figure he was the best dude because, it's the maiden voyage. They had just christened this new train, and it's going to take its maiden voyage. And this clown wrecks it 50 mile an hour over, derails, kills a bunch of people. The one yesterday, I think it was Sunday, that this happened, is South Carolina. I don't know exactly where. But that one wrecked, and it killed some people. I did a thing. I was looking at the number of wrecks. I believe it's 16 wrecks since 2000 on Amtrak and 12 derailments. So that's a total of 28. Now that doesn't include since the rail system started. There's more prior to that in the 80s. Going back to the 80s. But that just gives you sort of a general idea of how the system is. And then I looked up the Japanese train wrecks. I had to go back to 2005 to find the last one. And the research I was able to do, which was just some quick research, showed there had been 8 total. I'm talking about transit trains. I'm not talking about high-speed bullet trains. I'm talking about all trains, but I'm saying the most of the wrecks were on these transit trains that, had some issues one way or the other. 8 total since Japan had trains. In the United States, since the year 2000, we've had 28. And most of them are deadly. So I'm just saying, you look at all these different things and you go, couldn't we just save one life there? How much money did we spend on infrastructure? Everything Barack Obama talked about, roads and bridges and America's infrastructure. In fact, he said in 2009 and 2010 that the money that he had saved in 2010, he says the money that was saved in some repositioning of money was going to build our high-speed rail system. Where is it? I haven't seen it. He said that 2 years in a row, 2010 and 2011, that money that was going to come back through, I believe he said part of the Affordable Care Act or something else, was going to build us a rail system we could really count on, whatever. And since he said that, there's been, there's been 5 wrecks on Amtrak this year. Are you guys aware of that? 5 on Amtrak in the last year. And I made the comment, that's not President Trump. It's on his watch. But that's an inherited thing from Barack Obama because he took a lot of money from us. And he didn't improve the infrastructure. Because you would think with the number of people who are killed on America's roads and bridges, as well as our transportation systems, that he would care if we could just save one life, as they like to say. Well, he could have saved one life, and he didn't. So what's up with that? Here's another one that he talks about, and then we got to take a short break. He says, I can't figure out, this is in Enigmas, I can't figure out how you can proudly wave the flag of another country, but consider it punishment to be sent back there. Man, is that one true. Mexicans march. They got their flag at the different marches. America, man, you got to accept that, blah, blah, blah. Ask any one of them, do you want to go live in that country that you're waving that flag for? No, but they will step on the American flag while holding the Mexican flag and want no part of Mexico.
This is the Kevin Jackson Radio Show.